Hi, I'm Jasmine, and this is Lady Golf You, where I share dressmaking tips and tutorials, show you my original pattern designs as well as how to create them, and give you a behind-the-scenes look at my dressmaking alterations business, with a sprinkle of fashion history. If that sounds like something you're into, be sure to tap the subscribe button. Let's get started. As always, we want to start off with the actual pattern layout, and here we have it broken down on A4 paper. It's broken up into 8 sections. You have your sizing, and we also want to make sure that we have printed this to scale. So I always go in and print that first page and make sure that that 1.5 inches that I have it scaled to is properly printed, and I just go and it looks like everything matches perfectly, so we're at a good place to start. This is what it looks like actual size, where I have taped all my pages together, and these are the pieces laid out pre-cut. I've decided to use a size 12 sample size, and this is what it looks like on the main fabric. I decided to go with a matte satin baby pink for my Cosette pattern. Here you see me breaking it down into all the separate pieces. Make sure you cut in all your notches. It's very, very important when you're matching the pieces together. So I've gone to my machine and I've attached the middle panel, the side panel, and the side back panel. This is what it looks like in the interior. You can see I've clipped my edges and they match up quite nicely, and it coming across the princess seam. Okay, so now I'm going to set up my next few pieces, and this is going to be my side front, my side back, and my back panel. And it's always helpful to know because it has that little underarm seam where it just has that sort of curve there, and that's how you know you're on the right track. I used a backing for this to give the satin some more structure, so I use a non-fusible cotton interfacing in order to back this, and I did that with all the pieces. So if your fabric needs backing, you want to make sure, or interfacing, you want to make sure that you use this. I try not to use fusible because it does make the satin like rumple. Okay, so this is me making sure that I'm pattern matching, or I would say notch matching all my pieces, making sure those notches match, that way to ensure that all the pieces are aligning properly. And then you want to make sure you connect those together. Now I'm going to get my pins and pin this in place. I also, especially when I'm coming around a pretty intense curve, I also want to make sure that I hand tack it as well as baste it, only because it just makes sure that everything stays together. So I'm just showing you guys, these are all the other pieces that you need to attach. And this is what it looks like when all the pieces are attached. Mind you, it doesn't have a few structural components like cups, boning, or even the lining layer, so there's missing quite a few components, but I just wanted to give you guys just sort of like a rough look at what it looks like just put together. The neckline you may decide to drop on your own if you don't like that style. I always recommend also that you do a sample of any pattern you're using to make sure you're comfortable with the style before you go ahead and put it on the main fabric. This is just me showing you guys me now cutting out my lining. I used a taffeta. Again, I just like to make sure I recycle, so this white taffeta I had enough of, so I just decided to go ahead and use this. I'm clipping my notches the same way I did for the main fabric. This is what it looks like when all the pieces of my taffeta lining is sewn together. So this is all the panels sewn together. I'm showing you how to apply your boning. Right there in the middle seam, I just measured it out. I went down about 1 inch from the top area and 1 inch from the bottom area to make my markings. And the way I seal off my boning, instead of adding that fabric, I usually just melt the ends a little bit and then kind of like carefully making sure I go in there and give it that nice curve there. Okay, and this is me showing you guys all the boning channels placed in that taffeta lining, so kind of what it looks like with all the boning in. Now I'm going to take my main fabric, which is the satin fabric, and I'm going to combine it with my bone taffeta lining. And you want to make sure that the right sides are facing each other. So I want to make sure the area where I can't visibly see the boning, only the stitches for the boning, is facing the actual main fabric. So the interfacing and everything else should be facing outward as I'm combining these pieces together. So just showing you what it looks like when you have it set up properly and you're ready to go ahead and sew the pieces together. So you're going to sew all around the tops of there, all around the bottoms of your 5/8. So I have my design set up with hand basting, and this is just to ensure that because of the pieces that I'm using or the fabric that I'm using, that it's not going to slip under the machine and sort of like displace everything. So I always use a contrasting thread, which is easy to follow, and I go ahead and use this as a guide in order to do my sewing. And this is what it looks like after I've taken that thread tracing out and I have machine sewn it, so you can see what it looks like. So this is our piece right side out. It is not yet pressed and we're missing a few things, but I just wanted to sort of show you how things look so far. We have our pieces put together and our boning in. So I just wanted to take you to the next steps of adding structure to your piece. So here I have marked off where I intend to place my cup. If you want to learn more about the different types of cups that are used in dressmaking and construction, be sure to check out my video all about cups, as well as even consider creating your own custom cups. It's also available in my Etsy shop. So I've decided to use this cup because I really needed a molded form to my cups. So, and a little bit of a push-up to get a lot of structure to this Cosette pattern. So I'm just using those initial markers I created with the light orange thread, and I'm just going in and pinning it so that I can hand sew those in place. So we see the Cosette pattern really taking form and structure. She has her cups in, her boning, and really getting an idea of what this piece is going to look like. So next we're going to go in and set up ourselves to add our zipper onto this. But first I want to clean up these edges with the serger, as well as have a look at the piece on an actual dress form. We've cleaned up our back area with the serger. I have it pinned together, and again, my tried and true method for always adding a zipper onto any of my garments is I pin it completely closed. I want to use that 5/8 seam allowance, and I pin it completely closed, and then I take my zipper and I attach it directly into that seam. Once I have it in place where I feel like everything is matching up, then I just hand sew that zipper down, open up or remove the pins from that seam, and sew it down with an actual zipper foot. Every time I use this method to apply a zipper to any of my garments, 9 times out of 10 it comes out perfect, and I don't have to worry about taking out and putting back in the zipper, seeing if it matches up with everything. This has always worked for me, so I hope you guys are able to use this as well. And this is the final result of the Cosette pattern. I love the way she came out. It looks beautiful. She's smooth. She has the right shape and the right structure, and I'm really pleased with the results of this pattern. For the start of our pattern, we're going to set up as usual. Here you have the pattern laid out. It's a fairly simple pattern, as you can see. It's 2 sections that you're going to need to print out on that A4 paper. You always want to make sure you measure to scale. These are the sizes that are available. If it helps, always do a sample cut just to make sure you have the width and length that you want for your design. So I have this broken up into small, medium, and large. The green right now is what I'm cutting, and that is going to be the medium size drape, so you'll be able to see what that looks like. And I just want to go ahead and make sure that I've cut out everything for that particular size. So again, you have 1, 2 panels. I have some fabric here that I'm just going to cut it out, and you're going to cut 2 of each for each size. So altogether it's going to be 4 pieces that you need to cut out, and you want to make sure that you are on the proper grain line when you're cutting out your pattern, just to make sure everything stays nice and neat. So here I'm just pinning everything in place, making sure that my fabric isn't going to be moving around. Now that's been cut out, I have 1, 2 pieces here. I'm going to clip the very edge or the tip of the panel that says 1. I'm just going to put 2 notch marks in there, and that's just to indicate what's going to be the front of it. Once you take away the pattern, it's just an easier way for you to navigate what will be the front of your sleeve. So now you can see I have my 2 pieces of lining that I cut, as well as my 2 main pieces. The seam allowance for this drape sleeve is 5/8. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to take your grid ruler, and you are going to measure around about 5/8 around the entire portion of the sleeve. So that's all around there. You're going to measure 5/8. Usually you want to do some sort of marking. And you also want to leave that top area where we clipped open. So that area is going to stay closed, and that front notched area is going to stay open. So I just go around and I measure 5/8 all around. I do marking, and then I do some hand basting, and this is what it looks like when it's all completed. Again, I left that top area open, and the back area I closed it up, and you're going to see why we do that next. Okay, I'm just removing the last bits of my basting thread to reveal my machine stitches. So this is what we have here, the machine stitch sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to go in, and again, because we're coming around a curve, I'm going to clip into some of the notches to make it easier when I'm turning it right side out, that the points are nice and sharp. I'm also going to take off just a little bit of this seam allowance. You can either clip into the seam allowance and trim it off, or you can just trim it off. It's totally up to you. But I'm just going to go ahead and trim off this excess because I don't want a lot of bulk in my sleeve. If you decide that you want a thicker sleeve, then I would just use, or a wider sleeve, I would just use less of the seam allowance. Okay, I'm using my handy thread looper. I should say, yeah. We call this an actual strap looper, so it's just what we can loop our sort of straps and those different kinds of things that we use in sewing. We can just quickly sort of turn them right side out when they're very narrow. So I'm using that for this as well. As you can see, this is what it looks like. Kind of a little bit of a burrito thing going on, but that's why pressing is so important in dressmaking, or just sewing in general. That's why pressing is so important. So once we have fully taken that and put it on the right side, we're going to go in and do some pressing. Okay, so now everything has been pressed down and it's looking a lot more like that draped sleeve. And now we're going to go about doing some of the finishing touches on our draped sleeve. So I'm going to measure down 5/8. and just push that in. I'm going to use a pin to mark it, but I'm actually just going to sort of push that in and fold that down so that I can prepare it to be top stitched. So here we have the finished sleeves. I have both sleeves here, and those top stitches indicate the front of it. Now you can actually sew your draped sleeves directly onto whatever design that you have, and this is just the method if you want to make them detachable. So I have these clear clips or snaps, I would say, and you're just gonna put those, you're gonna put one of the sides on your actual sleeve and the other side will be on the garment, and this is if you just want to make them detachable. So I'm attaching it to my Cosette pattern, the bodice pattern. So if I've attached one set of the snap to that, and I've attached the other set of the snap to that, and that just makes it so that I can have detachable sleeves. Again, if you're not looking for the detachable look, you can apply them directly onto any of your designs, and that's just the way it looks when it's all done. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, make like a lady.